up into the role I'm in today. Polani, you want to go? You're on mute, dude.
So, Palani Ramamurthy, I'm in Vision Web for the last 13 years. And yeah, like Derek said, I started as a developer and grew in the career ladder, became a senior engineering manager now. And I work on the practice management side of the product. Living in Austin, Texas. That's about me, Larry.
Sure. Nice to meet you. My name's Larry Mrazek. I am an engineering director, manager. I don't really have an official title yet. I just moved over from CLX, which is a contact lens ordering system that's also underneath the EssilorLuxottica umbrella. And I was there for about 6 or 7 years, managing the app dev portion of that platform for about that time. Also, and unfortunately, I also had the responsibility of running Tableau reports as well because we didn't have a visualization person. So I'm acutely aware of what good people can do and what people like me can do. Which I can get you the data, but I can't making it look really pretty. I don't know, not so good. So welcome, and look forward to talking to you. And you're muted, Karen. I think we've got Ben left.
Oh, yep. I'm Ben Arthur. I'm the architect of Vision Web. I've been here for 7 years. Started off as a developer and then became the architect several years ago.
All right. Thanks, guys. Karen, why don't you give us a little bit about yourself? All right, cool. Thank you, Karen. All right, so looks like Larry, you want to get us started? You're on mute.
Sorry, everyone else is on camera. I'll do it. I'll torture you guys. Okay, so kind of walk me through some of your. You gave me a brief on some of your past experiences. Walk me through stuff that you learned early about developing a good dashboard. What are the pros? What are some of the keys to developing a good dashboard? You mentioned having a good foundation of the data. How comfortable are you in writing queries and stored procedures and that type of thing? Do you do that currently, or are you consuming stuff that others are giving to you? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. How do you validate your data? How do you test out your dashboards or the reports that you're building? I.e., like Tableau is so easy to use and great and everything else. You can drag, drag, drag. How do you validate this, that your stuff actually is correct? Mhm. What? Okay. How much experience do you have on Power BI? Okay. Do you have any? How much do you have? How much experience do you have building out kind of, and or at least building out the visualizations from like a new data warehouse from scratch? So new data warehouse is getting stood up. How much experience? You're responsible for doing all the data visualizations. Talk me through how you would approach that. Mhm. Do you have any examples of any dashboards that are publicly available that you can share? Or yeah, what's your Tableau public profile? If all right, hold on. Where do I find that? Let's see. Tableau public. Where would I find it? Sorry.
Larry, I think it's in the chat.
Ah, thank you. Got it.
Thanks,
I
Ben.
think. Oh, that's public.
Yeah, it looks like that's it.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. You want to walk us through one of these? Are we still on? Okay, here, hold on. Maybe can someone give me sharing responsibility here? And since I'm still on the CLX teams, and I'll share my screen.
Yes. Hold on.
Why not? There
I
we go.
got you. There you go.
All right, thank you. We will share this one. Yep. Can everyone see the screen?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, which one do you want to go through? Let's maybe state and county COVID. Yeah, let's start there. So kind of walk me through how you did this and what, yeah. Okay, you want, oh, okay, see it. You want me to go back to Texas? Okay. Mhm. Cool, okay. I haven't done this in Tableau. You're much cooler than I am. Yeah, okay. What about this one? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The different. That's a. Oh, that's cool. So it's changing. It's changing. You know, the intensity as you're going through Hugo. It goes down. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a different thing. To. Is there another one that you want to look at real quick? Mhm. Yeah. Cool. Oh, this is great. Yeah. Yeah. Talk to us about this. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Can you, I know you have limited experience on Power BI, but from what you know, contrast that with Tableau, which I know that you know. You've worked with more. Well, so would you would I think we're probably moving to Power BI. So would that be a blocker for you? Would you not want to adopt it, because I think that's one of our standards right now. Okay. All right. I think that's all I've got for now. Yeah, I've been jabbering for a while. I think Ben, you are up next. I'll shut up.
Okay. Um, So you mentioned earlier about that you have a different data person actually create the queries for your dashboards. Is that correct? Okay, so can you kind of walk me through the process that you'd go to do that for any given dashboard that you've done in the past? Kind of like what's the flow to determine what you need to query and how to do it and all that sort of stuff. Um, I guess that you've already kind of have a blueprint of what you're hoping to create. Yeah, no, that covers it. What are your preferred ways to query data? It, to do the actual data access from the dashboard, do you prefer like API calls or querying a database? Okay. What would be your process for troubleshooting data issues, whether it's you're not quite getting the data you want or the amount of data is different than what you were expecting?
Karen, can you real quick, sorry, Ben, just can you give everyone kind of an high level overview about what Tableau Prep is for folks who haven't used it before? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So what would be your or some of your different approaches for optimizing a dashboard? So if it's loading really slowly, or I guess if it's loading really slowly. Okay. I believe you mentioned earlier you have had to do some ETL development within the for doing dashboarding for getting data sources. Can you kind of tell me what the process for that would be? Okay. So you mentioned Python and PHP and some other stuff. What it would be your preferred languages for doing scripting and manipulation? Okay. What's some key considerations you would take into account when if you were to create a new data warehouse or start a new data warehouse project? Okay. Awesome. So I'm gonna hand over to Plani now.
Yep. So I'm going to just ask some high-level questions. So let's say we want to build a visualization team, right? And how would you go about creating standards for visualizations? Yeah, can you like list some of the best practices that you already follow, or I mean, can you talk about that a little bit? Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you talk about your preferred visualization technique? Like, I mean, the different types of charts, like the graphs and stuff. Like, what do you prefer the most? And in your past experience, which visualization technique you believe has the impact that you wanted to give the user? Okay. Yeah. So my last question is, let's say we have, like Larry mentioned, we have already Power BI in use. We have some Power BI visualizations and reports. So how you will like how you will handle those? Like if someone asks some improvements to that, what's your take? Like how you will take ownership of it and how you will improve it and or do you will you suggest to move us to Tableau? What's your take on it? Okay. I think that's fair. So anyway, that's all I have. So Derek, you want to take over from here?
Sure. Thanks, Lonnie. All right, Karen. So I'm going to kind of move away from the technical questions and get more into the cultural questions that I mentioned at the beginning. And again, it's just about past experience. So if you've never had this experience, just say that, and I can move on to the next. I'd rather have kind of a real example rather than a hypothetical. Okay. Tell me about a time where you felt you not only met a goal, but you considerably exceeded expectations. How were you able to do it, and what challenges did you have to overcome? Okay, cool. Okay, what three things are you working on to improve your overall effectiveness in your current position? Cool. Yeah, I've been there when I was a developer. I know what you mean. Um, all right, so last question is kind of just a general one. But why are you looking to leave your current company? Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. What about you, Karen? Do you have any questions for us? Well, it's a good question. So we actually currently use Power BI. That's something that our previous data visualization guy kind of brought into the company. So that's what we have. He recently left. And so that's why Larry was saying that we'd have to kind of roll into that because that's what we have. We are a Microsoft shop, even though I know you said you hate Microsoft. But everything, but you know, a lot of things. I guess, like you said, it's probably cheaper than anything else. But that doesn't mean that we wouldn't be open to other things. But that's just what we have right now.
Yeah, and you know, we've got a parent company that's, you know, as well. That's Laurel Exotica, and that Power BI is, well, currently they're standard. They change sometimes, so that is another reason why Power BI is kind of in there. Again, however, you know, we do have a level of autonomy as well. So if a case can be made, sometimes we can make a case. So, but we've got Power BI existing, so that's what we got. Yeah. Well, it would depend. You know, my division had Tableau, Yeah, and Derek, do we have any Tableau stuff running around in Vision Web right now?
We do not.
Okay, so, yeah, we're a big company, i.e. if something happens that, my old division gets merged back over here, then there'd be some Tableau stuff to do as well. But at this point, Power BI is the thing. Yeah. Yes, and we are currently, company-wide, we're going to be moving over to Jira for doing the dev tasks as well. We've got Teams currently as far as our chat and, everything else. I mean, we're connected that way. For managing projects that, we do have a product and project team as well. So it's not just, hey, here's a bunch of random tasks we're going to throw at you. There should actually be a business case for everything that you're going to be working on, as well as some sort of a logic to why you're working on it. So we're in the process of moving from TFS to Jira. So a lot of it with a lot of integrations in there as well. Yeah.
Automation. There's a lot of the month-end processes that are not automated, and they can be. And so there's manual work that has to be done, and that in my mind would be the number one thing that we would ask you to do when you first started. And then to build out and extend what we have. I think that would be another thing that we would be asking you to do.
As for that, as those are great points, as well as being a part of overall broader teams when we're designing reporting functionality within other applications to maybe chime in and say, hey, you might want to look at the data this way or that way. Even though the reporting tool might be embedded in the application that we run, certainly we need help there as well. I mean, at least I always think that we could, at least on my old job, we could have used help over there because developers were building every last piece of customer facing dashboards, and we did a good job, but we could do better. I mean, overall, being able to have a professional, consistent look and feel to all of our dashboards and all of our reports, internal, those high level reports would be awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's the reports themselves that actually feed up to upper management and stuff. There's a reporting server out there that currently holds all those reports, and there's some things there that when we get new data in, there's some manual process to get it from one place to the other, right? So it would be really just automating the process to make the data available for those reports and those visualizations. Ben, can you answer that?
There's a mix of stuff. So we have some SQL Server agent jobs, and then we have some SSIS stuff. It's just this big old hodgepodgey mess of some things are done this way, some things are done that way. Mostly speaking. So kind of a desire, maybe an expectation would be that we can consolidate that into a standard approach that everyone can understand and find stuff properly.
Yeah. That's consistent. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And works, I guess. That's great too.
And, yes, working actually means a little bit. Yes. I think, if we can make the business case to it, as far as if we adopt this platform, these are the benefits, and it's going to save us X amount of manual person hours, and it's going to do things much better. We can take that and get that approved, and do some other things. It all depends on is it going to be worth it for us in in kind of the long term, and does it make sense? Because we're currently doing that right now, i.e. getting Jira in and getting a lot of the other new services in. We're having to go and justify this isn't a viable expense, and this is the problem it's going to solve.
Yep.
So if you're persuasive, Karen, then yes, yeah.
You just have to be more persuasive than Larry, and that's
No one's more persuasive than me. No one's better at talking people down on their contracts.
negotiating.
All right,
Let us
thank you,
know, Karen.
Karen.
Thank you for your time.
today.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Me too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.